Hi, my name is Ina Jalil. I'm a pet photographer based in Canberra, Australia, and I'm expanding my business into the pet photography education space. So I'm hoping to, I am coaching and mentoring other pet photographers to help them grow their business and create consistent bookings so that they can make money from their passion and do what they love. So before joining AIpreneurs, the rock bottom, I don't think there was a rock bottom, but basically where I was stuck, my pet photography business was going great. It was going amazing, but I really wanted to expand to that education space and coaching and mentoring other pet photographers. And I just didn't know, where to start and how to actually start building the offers and how to attract the clients and things like that. So, knowing, what funnels to create, how to generate leads, how to actually, get clients and how to create an irresistible offer. There was all bits and pieces that I've learned from different workshops, but I didn't really have a structure. And so I wasn't sure what to do. And I think joining AIpreneurs gave me more clarity for that, giving me, what funnels to do, how to run a webinar. There was so much resources in the classroom, but not only that, the Q&A with Athena was really immensely useful. So my metrics beforehand was basically, the number of leads, the number of bookings for my business, and also revenue as well. In terms of the education space, it was really getting the leads coming in, the number of emails, but also how many people sign up to the workshops. But I didn't really have any solid thing going before I started, so except for a couple of things that I had some beta members for. So I think, the general metrics, number of leads, number of bookings, gross revenue, profit, and things like that. I think the biggest doubts and concern was the financial investment for AIpreneurs. So I think, the biggest objection I had was the money side of things, because it was such a big investment. But I knew that, if I put things into action, I could make that investment back. And I think making such a big investment in things like coaching and education and investing in yourself, you want to know the return on investment. And also that also relies on you to take action, because you get all the learnings, you get all the mastermind, the Q&A, but if you don't implement it and take action, you're not getting it back. So I think one of the biggest hesitations was like, well, could I do it? Could I spend this money or invest this money and get it back and put it into action? So that was the biggest thing. And then the other thing as well, that I wasn't sure whether this was for me, because I had such a very specific niche with pet photography and helping pet photographers in their business, not the actual craft. So it's a very, very targeted niche. And I knew that AIpreneurs, I wasn't sure whether that would be able to help me. But now that I'm in it, it's definitely helped me. I think it actually applies to a lot of industry, and, being in the forefront of AI and what Athena's teaching us, it's just so immensely helpful. What made me invest in AIpreneur is because I want to be ahead of the curve where the photography industry is at the moment. There's a lot of people hesitating on AI, but I want to be at the forefront of it and use AI to my advantage, and also, learn from the best of the best. And Athena is such a great marketer, and she's got such a wealth of knowledge. But not only that, also the guest speakers that she brings in, and all the other coaches in there, from Goose to James Gillick to Azriel. Just the amount of calls that she has each week, the Q&A that you get with her, because usually in a group coaching situation, you've got a group coaching call, but you don't get actually any time. But Athena gives you, the time for each Q&A to answer your questions, to create your money model, and also the supporter community, being with like-minded others. And I know that if I just implement and put into action what I learned, I'll definitely make my money back. And I'm already halfway there, even only 3 months in. So my metrics now, I'm getting more in terms of my education space. I've built a community within the first, 3 weeks. I started a Skool community. So now I've got a Skool community, and I'm trying to nurture that and create, eventually monetize that. But also not only with my pet photography business, the metrics, I've got, leads and their webinar show up rates and things like that. So I'm starting to track those metrics as well, and how many people are taking up my offers, as well as like monthly recurring revenue, which I didn't have monthly recurring revenue before until now. So that's, a new metric that I'm tracking. And now it's good that I'm actually starting to generate these offers that I can launch regularly so that I can create some monthly recurring revenue in addition to my pet photography business. Sure. So in terms of what so I did my first webinar launch, and that's using Athena's Go High Level funnel, and I used the AIpreneurs Lab to the business lab to actually help me create the landing page copy, the ad copy, the webinar script, and basically everything that I needed for the webinar. I had 151 people registered for the webinar. I had 75 people showed up in the webinar, so close to 50% show up rate. And then I had 11 people take up my offer, which generated about 7,000 Australian dollars revenue. And then from that, Athena gave me some strategies to upsell for implementation at the end of that workshop. And I had 5 people take up that upsell at, I think it was around $1,900, $2,000 USD each. So $10,000 from that. So just from the webinar and that, I've made close to $20,000 in the last 3 months. So I think the best moments that I've had since joining the AIpreneurs is this Fiji mastermind. Like being here in Fiji for a business mastermind, learning from Athena, learning, what is happening in what is going to happen in the future, what's going to be implemented in our AIpreneurs, but also learning and meeting like-minded others. I've connected with so many people over the last couple of days. I've built great relationships. I now know I can reach out to certain people if I need help for something, even though they're not in my industry. And I've actually made lifelong friends, even some in Australia and some in the US, some in Canada. And that's just been amazing. The other thing, I think the biggest thing was, launching a webinar. I was terrified doing that. And being able to actually, have the landing page, run the webinar script, and know how to deliver that webinar. I'm now more confident, and hopefully I can deliver that, again and again, and keep refining as I go. And, soon I can basically create my offer as an evergreen webinar and just keep running it to get people in. And then also, actually creating offers and selling and upselling. I think my limiting belief was about, the sales calls and things like that. I get all in my head about that, but Athena gives you really good structure and really good training on the mindset as well. And I think anything's possible now. And I think, what you say is there's nothing is impossible is merely untried. So I love that phrase. Impossible is merely untried. So nothing is impossible. Think about where you want to be in a year from now. If you want to 10x, 20x your goal, you need to join, because you know what? You can find ways to make the money to join, and you will make it back if you put it in, if you implement and put it into action, you can make it back. I know, in this group, I'm not the only one who's literally just making, lots and lots of money for this, but not also that, making money so that we can get to do what we love and impact the people that we want to impact. And I'd say just do it. Just do it. You can figure out how to make the money. It's easy. Once you're in it, you'll have all the tools, the strategies, the support to help you get there.